Hello everyone, Curious Corduroy here, and Sony has announced when the new PlayStation Plus service will launch here in America as well as overseas. First off, it'll be landing in Asian markets first, excluding Japan, on May 23rd. Japan, they're targeting June 1st. Here in America, we're looking at June 13th, and in Europe, we're looking at June 22nd. So it'll be interesting to see how the service debuts in the Asian markets first, and I'm curious to see if the catalog of games will be identical to what we'll get here in America, or if it'll differ drastically. I think a lot of people will be on the lookout for the first reactions from those users. And speaking of PlayStation Plus, the original PlayStation series Syphon Filter looks to be making a return, possibly through the PlayStation Plus Classic Games service. As first reported from Gematsu, some of the Syphon Filter games have recently been rated for PS5 and PS4. The list includes Syphon Filter 1, 2, Dark Mirror, and Logan Shadow. Noticeably absent are Syphon Filter 3 and Syphon Filter the Omega Strain. It's unsure as to why those titles were left out, but it's being assumed that the others will be included on the PlayStation Plus Classic Games list. Up next, the House of the Dead remake will be coming to PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series consoles, as well as PC including Steam, GOG, and Stadia on April 28th. Reception to the game was incredibly mixed, with many unhappy with the game's performance. Friend of the channel Impulse Paradox and I recently sat down to discuss his major issues with the game, if you'd like to check out that podcast as well. Online reaction is seemingly negative too, with many gamers feeling ripped off having bought the inferior Switch version, not knowing the game's release was headed for PC and other powerful consoles as well. I can't find any information on whether it was announced that the game would be a timed exclusive for Switch either, so it definitely seems shady not to make this announcement beforehand. It kind of feels like they purposely wanted people to double dip and buy multiple copies of the game on different platforms. It's also baffling that Nintendo would pay to have such a short exclusivity window. I think most people who hoped it would arrive on other platforms expected of a window of at least 6 months exclusivity. And in our last news story for the day, it looks as though the engine that Grand Theft Auto 6 will run on has been leaked out. Industry insider Chris Klippel tweeted out this statement. Obviously, the new version of the graphics engine of Rockstar Games, Rage 9, which will be used for GTA 6, is likely to be quite incredible. I was able to get very positive feedback. We really shouldn't be disappointed on this point. We are talking about an engine ahead of its time. End of quote. So it sounds like this new engine could be incredibly impressive on the graphics front. I'm also assuming that it'll be able to generate lots of NPCs and the like. It's hard to imagine games looking any better than they do now. Games like The Last of Us Part 2 and Horizon Forbidden West both look phenomenal. The latter still impressing me months after its release. There are seriously moments where I'm playing the game and I say to myself, this looks fake, but it's very much real. And I'm very much enjoying the game as well. So it'll be really interesting to see just how massive GTA 6 actually is in terms of size and scope of the map, but how much is going to be in it? A lot of traffic, a lot of pedestrians, a lot of buildings. It's going to be really interesting to see how good this game actually looks. Well, everybody, I'm Curious Corduroy. That is the end of the video. If you have any comments or thoughts about any of the topics that I talked about today, you can go ahead and drop them in the comments down below. What is your best looking game in your opinion? There's been a lot of really good looking games that have come out recently. Horizon Forbidden West, Last of Us Part 2, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the best looking games I've seen this generation as well. The facial tech in that game is fantastic. I would also throw Final Fantasy VII Remake up there. Yeah, there were some issues with textures on some of the surrounding areas, but characters, facial animations, battle animations, CG, all of that looked phenomenal. So I'd really love to hear all of your thoughts below in the comments section. I will see you guys in the next video, and please always remember to be excellent to one another.